Hello, welcome to this week's lesson for playing test number 2, Jubilee, found on page 6, number 26 in your book. Before we get started, let's make sure we know what the rhythms are in this test. You might notice that number 25 in your book is just the rhythms for Jubilee. Let's practice count, tap, clapping these rhythms. Make sure to move your foot down, up, down, up, down, up, and clap the rhythms and count out loud. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How did you do? If you can clap the rhythm without any mistakes, then you'll be more confident when you move to the instrument to play through the song. Next, let's work on singing through the piece. If we can hear it in our ear, it helps us to be able to know what to play on the instrument. Remember our solfege symbols with our hands. Do, re, mi, fa, and sol. Do, mi, re, 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 fa, mi, re, mi, sol, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, re, do, mi, do. How did you do? If you're not able to do the hand signs, that's okay. The key here is that you get the notes in your ear. Next, let's work on saying the note names with the metronome. Make sure your fingers are on the correct keys. Reminder, pinky first, 3, 2, 1. Pinky first, 3, 2, 1. This can help you make sure your fingers are set on the right keys. Ready, go. B flat, D, B flat, D, C, 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 E flat, D, C, D, D, F, F, D, E flat, C, D, D, C, B flat, D, B flat. If you can do that, moving your fingers while playing is going to be a breeze. Let's pick apart a few measures at a time. We're going to start with the first measure, working on transitioning from B flat to D. Play with me. Your turn. Do, mi, do, mi. Work on playing this at least 10 times in a row correctly. If you're not able to do it 10 times in a row correctly, keep working on it until you can do that with no mistakes. The next measure we're going to look at is measure 3. We want to focus on the articulation here. There's a new concept of a slur where we are going to go from E flat to D without using our tongue. It's going to sound like this. So we play E flat, D, C, and we think D, ya, da. So to get that slur to happen, we go D, ya, without doing a da articulation on the second note, the D. If I tongue the second note, it sounds different, like this. Versus with the slur. Do you hear the difference? So make sure you're thinking D, ya, da, and that third measure. Work on playing this third measure 10 times correctly with no mistakes. let's look at measure 5. In measure 5, we skip from D to F. Let's review the fingers. For D, your left hand has the first finger and pinky up. Your right hand has fingers 1, 2, 3 with the pinky up. For F, we're going to lift these two fingers and put our first finger down, and then put our third finger down and make sure our pinky is up. Like this. Practice switching from D to F at least 10 times until you can't get it wrong. Notice how in this measure, it first goes up and then it goes down. We need to practice it both ways. The last thing we want to look at is the second to last measure, or measure 7. In this measure, we need to practice slurring from D to C. On flute, for D, we have almost all our fingers down, and then C, we need to lift those fingers up, put our pinky down, and our first finger. In order to do this, you must have your hand position correct. If your hand position isn't correct, the flute is going to roll out of your hands. So make sure you have your thumb and your pinky set correctly, and the left side of the flute resting on that knuckle of the palm of your first finger. Let's practice playing from D to C in a slur. Notice that the flute does not move when I make that note change. Practice it at least 10 times or until you can't get it wrong. Now that we've broken this piece down in several pieces, we're ready to put it all together. Let's go ahead and play along with the song. Did you get it? If you still aren't able to play it, go back and review the steps of the video, one piece at a time, and then put it all back together until you eventually can play the entire piece. Thank you for joining me today on our lesson for Jubilee. We'll see you for our next video. Happy playing!